geek out. Welcome to another episode of Out Geeked, and yes, we continue with the marathon of Titans, Titan class Transformers. We have two more here for you. Thank you very much, Don, for giving us another of your two Titans to show off here in Out Geeked.
Yeah, most definitely. Thank you once again, Don, for lending us Fortress Maximus and Scorponok. As you guys see, they're huge like our other Titans.
They're pretty big. So remember to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, hit the notification bell so you do not miss another episode of Out Geeked, and let's geek out. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for watching. Remember to share this video with your friends and fellow geeks so you guys can geek out with us here. So today we do have two Titan class. Again, thank you for Don for providing them here for us to show you. This is Scorponok
and Fortress Maximus.
And we're going to geek out here a little bit about this. Just look at, just take a look at them and just really just geek out on the colors, on the features, and just tell you a little bit about them. Pretty much what show they were from, what they do, what was so important about them, and why, that Don decided to get these.
Yeah, I mean, as you guys can see, these guys are two big boys. Fortress Maximus is actually the biggest, tallest Titan class toy to date.
Okay.
Only surpassed by a special Unicron toy. Not the one I showed we had previously, but an actual, like the Unicron was only 27 inches. But not counting that special Unicron, he holds the title of the tallest Titan.
Okay.
You see, he's already towers over Scorponok.
Yeah.
And Scorponok is supposed to be his counterpart. But he's supposed to be the whole point of our Titan miniseries. We showed off each of their counterparts together.
Right. The Autobots and the Decepticons. So.
And then one thing cool about these guys are both Headmasters. Headmasters are a type of Transformers that their heads are actually another Transformer. So, like for example, with Fortress Maximus, he's a double Headmaster. He becomes special. The head transforms into Cerebros, and then the smaller head is actually Spikewood Wiki, their human ally from the original cartoon.
Okay.
So he got himself a cybernetic upgrade to transform to become a Headmaster for Cerebros. And as for Scorponok, the Headmaster is called Lord Zarak. He's a Nebulan alien that joined forces with the Decepticons. The Headmaster gimmick's real cool. At first, I was like a little afraid of playing with Headmasters because their necks are very thin. So luckily not for the Titans, but for like other Headmasters. If the head snaps off, the neck head snaps off, you really can't combine the head with the body anymore.
It's done.
Yeah, it's pretty much done. I'll show you guys the Spikewood Wiki Headmaster in a few. But the toy itself, Fortress Maximus is real cool. I really like it. It's probably, color-wise, is one of my favorite lookings. It's pretty much the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, just like the Optimus Prime, right?
Yeah,
white
pretty much.
Blue.
Pretty much the heroic red, white, and blue. The original toy came out in 1987, I believe. And it transformed to a typical rolling base like the previous Titans. Back then, they were just real basic. They just either a giant robot or they turned into a base. And Fortress Maximus also made appearances in cameos such as like in Animated, where there's a building where funny enough, the Autobot High Guard base, they call the building Fortress Maximus. He also made a few appearances in comics, and some comics, funny enough, he is the founder of the Maximus faction.
Okay.
So in some continuity, in some story, he's actually the founder of the Maximus.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I did not know that either until I started looking into Fortress Maximus a bit more, and I thought, okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, he's a cool toy. And since I brought up the Headmaster gimmick, I could at least go over it.
Decapitate the guy.
I just decapitated Fort Maximus. So you just fold the wings, the legs.
All right, look at that. It's pretty quick and easy.
Most Headmaster transformations are. That's the body, and then I just have to take out Spike from the chest.
And here you go. You can't stab it.
Yeah. So this is what I was referring to when you get a Headmaster. You got a tiny little.
Oh wow, very little.
So you have to make sure you stick it.
Oh, that's really cool.
That's it. So
all right.
It's a miniature. So that's Spike with Wiki, and that's Cerebros.
Nice.
Headmasters.
Okay.
So they combine together
to form
Fortress Maximus.
They combine together to form Fortress Maximus.
I love Fortress Maximus. It's a cool toy. Biggest tie-in, probably the biggest Autobot, and probably one of the strongest, I'm sure.
That is really cool. That's really cool. It's just like he has his own sword.
Yeah.
He just goes in and
he
has the bigger body, and then he has his own little body inside of that big body.
Which is cool. I mean, the Headmaster gimmick was like one of the last gimmicks in the original Transformer toy line. So at first,
you should really bring that back. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. I just don't like the fact that knowing myself, I'll snap something. Because just like this tiny little head, you'll snap it, and if you snap the head, the robot won't have no face. They did reissue some of their old Headmaster toys, and we got Fortress Maximus and Scorponok, but they reissued smaller ones. And that was coming in a time where the Transformer toy line was already done, so they're coming out with gimmicks just to keep it going. So Headmasters is definitely a gimmick, and it was during the time, the third season, they were going to like this planet called Nebulos, and some Transformers befriended the aliens. And to show like a sign of peace, the Transformers ripped off their heads and told them like, we're here peacefully, we're not here to invade. And they're like, you do whatever you want with our body. So the Nebulans reformatted themselves to be biomechanical and pretty much combined with the Autobots. So it showed like an allegiance. And then when the Decepticons came, they weren't ripping off their heads. They were like, we're going to turn you guys into weapons instead.
Yeah, let's go. So what does this Fortress Maximus transforms into?
This one, still the same thing as a base and like a rolling base and a military base.
Fortress Maximus.
Hence the name. It's just, his goal, his biggest thing is that he's huge. He is the biggest Titan. He was dethroned by Metroplex, the one we showed a while back. 2 years later, in the Earthrise Siege line, they released this version, which is the better, more modern, updated version of the character.
And go ahead and check that out. The Metroplex episode is really cool. We show it off against
Trypticon.
So Trypticon is really nice.
Trypticon is definitely one of my favorites.
Really cool. And then the other one that came to follow it up, which was Tidal Wave.
Tidal Wave and Omega Supreme.
That one's really nice.
Oh, yeah.
So over here we have Scorponok. I really love the colors: the purple, the green, the orange, the blue, and the badass insignia there of the Decepticons. Really cool helmet with his shade, cool guy.
He's definitely a cool dude.
We got big cannons here that move, which is really cool. I like that. I don't see any cannons over there.
Well,
so
we got some right here.
Oh,
yeah,
holy moly! Okay,
Metro's shooting low. He's shooting below the belt.
Jeez, yeah, he is pretty big below the belt. Whoa! All right, take this off.
Don't worry, it snaps.
Sorry, if I broke this.
See, I broke Metroplex's gun and he broke Scorponok's arm. It's only fair.
It's only fair. So we got some claws here. He does transform into a scorpion.
Yeah, he's scorpion and a base.
And a base. Okay.
Yeah. Just like typical Titans, they transform to 3 things.
Yeah, we got here the claws, or the pinchers, or the grips, whatever you want to call them. Pretty strong, pretty cool. You can actually move them. We got nice boosters on the sides of his rib. Mm-hmm. It's really cool. And then his scorpion legs are pinned here in the back, which is really cool. And it's probably some kind of his
it's
tail.
The tail. Yeah, you see, I just connected the pincher part of the tail because it goes in his arm.
Mm-hmm.
So you connect the tail.
So really cool. Absolutely awesome Scorponok over here. Actually, funny story. We were just talking about it. Is that he's not related to the Beast Wars Scorponok at all.
It would have been cool if it was like if he was like if Scorponok was his descendant and this original Scorponok was his ancestor. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure in some continuities they could easily rewrite it as such. But I'm pretty sure Scorponok from Beast Wars just really liked his name and just took it.
Yeah, just pretty much like Megatron, right?
Yeah, pretty much like Megatron. He's like, well, he was a cool dude. I want to be just like him, so I'm going to take his name, be as cool as him. And Scorponok also made appearances in Transformers Energon, where he was a Terracon instead. And he was following the lead of Quintessence, like a Quintesson. And they're trying to prevent the reawakening of Megatron. In fact, not Megatron, Unicron. Because since Unicron pretty much destroyed their planet.
Now, Terracon is a faction that moved away from the Decepticons, yes. Right?
Yep.
Right, man.
Yeah, some continuities are part of the Decepticons, and most of the time it's just their own thing.
Yeah.
And then, since I'm playing with Fortress Maximus, I just remembered there was one comic that they had a crossover with Star Trek. Transformers and Star Trek had a crossover, and they rebuilt Fortress Maximus to transform him into the USS Enterprise.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it was real cool. I'll definitely pick if they sold that. I'll pick that.
I'm not a big Star Trek fan, but I know you are.
Yeah, and it's a pretty cool looking ship. And I was like, oh yeah, that would have been a must have.
No matter the price.
No matter the price.
Here's my checkbook.
But yes, the Titans themselves. This is for the time being. This will be the final episode of the Titan series.
And this one is cannons right here?
Yep. All right. Fort Max is also pretty much built, ready to go.
Yep.
I just hope one day we could actually get some new Titans. There's plenty of other Titans out there. But these guys are probably the cream of the crop. These guys were like the final Titans they showed in the original
Who would you like to see in next Titan?
Next Titan? There's no one that I can think of at the moment because we pretty much showed off all the known Titans. I just hope one day we get like a Maximal or Predacon Titan one day. I mean, if they
we already have. The most recent is a Predacon or Decepticon.
Yeah, all the Titans so far that we've shown are Decepticons and Autobots. Now, if they release the Blue Whale tidal wave that I mentioned in the last episode, I'll get that for sure. But as for these guys, Scorponok, probably out of these two, Scorponok might be my favorite alt mode because it's a giant scorpion versus a flat base.
Right. Yeah.
But like robot mode, Fort Max definitely wins that battle because he is the crown jewel of all Titans. He's the biggest. Yeah.
He looks pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie. Yep, and he has the heroic red, white, and blue.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And just like I've told with Fortress Maximus, Scorponok's head does come out, and it's a Headmaster too. It's Lord Zarek, as I mentioned, which is real cool. I transformed it before, and I was like, I'm not gonna risk it. I'm gonna leave Scorponok. I'll just keep playing with Fortress Maximus head. Yeah, they're real cool bots. I like them. Definitely a good addition. Once again, thank you, Don, for lending us these guys.
Yeah, thank you very much for lending us these guys to show it off here, show off your collection. I know you have more collections, so we will keep on borrowing some of these so that we can show them off here for you. And it's a pleasure, obviously, always. So,
I'm sure if they ever release the USS Enterprise Fortress Maximus, he probably will get that day one because he's just as big.
Pre-order it.
Oh, he's just as big as a Star Trek fan and a Transformer fan. I know I would have gotten it. I kind of cool that in some continuities he's the founder of the Maximus. I kind of want to learn more about that.
Yeah, so, that is a pretty cool. That is a pretty cool thing that you mentioned.
Yeah, because
I wonder how it started.
Well, if I have to guess, it's probably because of Spike, because he's a human that got converted into like Cybertronian tech, and Cerebros is like a more of a pacifist character, and he just joined forces because they have to fight. And I'm pretty sure he probably was like, well, how am I going to make more efficient Transformers? So he probably thought of like, all right, let's make them smaller, and smaller and more biomechanical.
And then these don't combine with anybody, right?
No. You know, because they're pretty much, if you really want to get technical, they are combiners.
That's true.
Because
the Headmaster.
They're Headmaster technology. Right. So they are pretty much two Transformers combined into one. Because I believe in Japan, Scorponok is just an empty shell without Lord Zarek. So it's pretty much Lord Zarek is in a giant mech.
And his big sword.
Yeah. Unless,
his big Gundam.
They're pretty much Gundams in a way. They're big. You should see them transformed. I tried transforming them the other day. They're very wide, so that's why we just have them in robot mode. This Scorponok will literally cover it.
Oh, I can imagine Fortress Max.
Oh, he will the whole table. He opens up, and they're all designed for like miniature Transformers. Because they're base city bots, like always.
Yeah, it's like a big city. Instead of a dollhouse, you have a Transformer base.
Oh yeah, it just sounds cooler that way. It's not a dollhouse, Mom. It's a Transformer. Okay.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. That will do it for this episode. This is our last, for now, Titan class video. And this was Scorponok and Fortress Maximus. Remember to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, hit the notification bell so you do not miss another episode of Out Geeked, and leave us a comment.
Yeah, and if there is any Titans that we left out that maybe Don doesn't have, which I doubt it, he probably does have. He just said these one. Mention them on the comments, like, hey, there's this guy, bring it up. And like, all right, I'm pretty sure he will have it. Is there any Titan that you liked previously? Like, what's your favorite Ultra? Ultra Magnus is not a Titan. Like you saying, Ultra Magnus. It's probably the red, white, and blue, but did you like Omega Supreme, Tidal Wave, Triptychon? You name it, just let us know in the comments below.
That's right. And always remember, geek out.
So this is our style of...
This is our style, our generation of art, what you say. You know how some people have art display in their house, statues, busts. We have these toys that we like to display.